Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming through on this Thursday evening. I'm glad to have you here. It's normally Puza Thursday, but you guys have skipped it to be here, and that was a good decision this evening. We're going to make money instead of spending money here this evening, so I'm glad to have you with us. And I'm glad to have all of you who've tuned in live from around the country with us this evening as well. It's awesome that with the technology we have, we can talk to everyone around the country every day. It's something that excites us at DuePoint, and I'm hoping that by the end of this evening, you'll be excited about DuePoint as well. Before we start, I want you to know that you've picked a good evening to come to. When I say picked, someone's brought you here this evening, or someone has connected you to us via our live broadcast, and they've picked you for a reason. It's an important reason. You see, we run this special Thursday called Thematic Thursday about once every 3 months. So it's relatively rare. Sometimes it's 5 months before we'll run it again. And what we do when we run this evening is we allow the people who work with us at DuePoint to bring only the most difficult people to this presentation. And so this evening you have the honor of knowing that your friend thinks you're difficult. And that's why they have brought you here this evening. But I am sure that you're going to prove them wrong this evening. As we go through the process of Thematic Thursday. Thematic Thursday is an evening, as I say, we do only once or twice a year, where I actually take the time with you to explain not only what we do at DuePoint, but why we chose to do it. And that's an important feature, especially for those that have worked with us for a while, for them to understand why is it that we do what we do here. There's often a lot of questions about the system, and it normally stems from the fact that people don't understand why we do what we do at DuePoint. And so this evening, I'm going to open up DuePoint. I'm going to crack it right open. I'm going to take you back to the very first day when we launched it and before we launched it to explain why we do what we do. Hopefully, as a difficult individual, this will play to your personality. And you'll go, yes, now I understand it better. I like what I've heard. And you understand better what we do and can work away with us. You see, you can even live broadcast us in the room. Isn't the technology amazing? See me reel and on your screen at the same time. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. Folks, there's no need to live stream us when you're sitting in the room with us. All right, so before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We are DuePoint, a division of Constantia Insurance Company Limited. This is important to note because before now, you said to the person who was introducing you to DuePoint, I've never heard of DuePoint. All right, fair enough. That's because we are a division of an insurance company. This is not a new company. We're not one of these fintechs or one of these new sort of pop-up insurance companies that we're seeing all the time these days. We're also not one of these things that have blown in from offshore. Every day I'm reading in the newspaper about the next thing that's blown into Durban or East London or wherever. They don't seem to land in Gauteng or Joburg. They land on the coastlines. Maybe they come in on the ships, I don't know. We're not one of those either. We are a 66-year-old listed insurance company. We were first registered in 1952. This is our 7th decade of operating. So again, you are not at a startup this evening. I want you to have some confidence in who you're dealing with. As I said, we're listed as well. You can find us on the JSE under Conduit Capital. So go and do your research. You can also find all of our licenses online. We're, of course, an authorized and registered financial services provider because we're a licensed life, short, and medical insurance company in South Africa. All right, you're confused. I've said so much already. All right, folks, there is our FSP license if you want to go and look us up on the internet. Okay, be sure you know who you're dealing with here at DuePoint. All right, in addition, we're real people. This has become this new phenomenon that I've noticed. We've got all these Facebook things promising us wealth and fortune. All right, you go onto Facebook and you search for earn income at home or make money passively or, create an asset from home, whatever it is, and you'll find all these things that exist on the internet. And yet when you try and track them down, who are the companies behind them? Who are the people behind them? Where are their offices? Well, they don't actually exist. In fact, about a month ago, I was reading about one where the guy who was purporting to be the owner was a made-up Facebook character. All right, well, as those of you in the room can see, I am not a computer-generated graphic. I am very, very real. And for those of you who are watching me live, I promise I'm real. Come and visit us here and you will see I'm real, as are the rest of my staff, most of which you have met this evening. Now, we've done them in beauty order. I am the most beautiful, going downwards. My name is Brendan Benfield. I'm the senior executive here. I've been in the industry a long time, done lots of things in this space. If you're worried about whether we got the credentials or not, well, come and talk to us and we'll tell you and show you that we have the credentials. But this evening is not about me proving to you that we are legitimate. We are legitimate. Take some time, get to know us, and understand that in South Africa, we feel we're probably one of the only genuine opportunities out there right now for every South African. And my hope is that this evening I can demonstrate that to you. Folks, we looked on the 1st of August 2015, we sat down in our office and we said to ourselves, we've got two problems in South Africa right now. The one problem is South Africans don't have any money, and the second problem is they don't have any time. This was a reality for all of us. There might be 0.5% of the economically active individuals who have time and money, but for the other 99.5% of us, we have no money and we have no time. This was a problem. These are the two problems that we identified right in 2015 already. As full-time employees, you guys know already that all your time is sucked up all day working. You have very little time left. Most of you work overtime, even though you're not necessarily being paid for it. Hey? You don't work 8 until 5 every day. You're working 7 until 6 or 8 until 8 every day. This is a reality of South Africans. It means you've got no time. And yet, despite all of that effort, all of that work, and the fact that you're left with very little at the end of the day, you're not really paid very much, are you? What do they say? National average salary is 4,500 Rand a month. 4,500 Rand a month for the amount of hours that we put into work every day. And even if you earn more, maybe you earn 10 or 20 or 30 or 40,000 Rand a month. Even if you do that, every year as South Africans in our economy right now, we're getting poorer. Are we not? None of our salaries are keeping up with inflation. Price increases, do they happen once a year anymore? No. You go to the shops right now, you're going to see prices are going up every week. Every week. And then every now and then we get a special bonanza. You know, there's like Black Friday in November when they drop all the prices as big sales. Well, now we're getting the exact opposite. I don't know what we're going to call them. Shall we call them VAT Fridays? I don't know. But you know, 1st of April we had VAT Friday and all the prices went up 7%. 7% because we had an increase in VAT, increase in petrol price, increase. Right now, the Rand is doing wonderfully badly. Wonderfully badly. It's deflated by another 10% in just the last 7 days. All right, what does that mean? Prices will go up on Friday. So we'll call it, as I say, VAT Friday. We need to come up with a name for it. Tomorrow morning, you'll walk into the shops and all the prices will be up again. Now, we're getting what? 4, 6, 10% increases every year? That's what we get. That doesn't equal the 17 to 20% inflation on the things we buy. Yeah, they tell us, you know, in the newspapers, inflation 6%. But that's only if you include all the things you don't buy, like minerals. How many of you are out there buying minerals on a daily basis? When you pull those things out, your inflation is like 20%, 17 to 20%. But you've got a 4 to 6% increase. What do we do about that? What do we do about the fact that now every year we're actually getting poorer? Poorer and poorer, less and less able to buy something. I actually made this comment to my father a couple of months ago. I said to him, I'm a big petrol head. I've always been from about age 10, loved motor cars. I'm sorry, but it's just my thing. Wake up in the morning, put some petrol under the neck here, you know, it's my thing. So I have followed cars, and for a long time now, I've said to myself, well, I want to buy a new car. But now it's like I'm racing a price. I almost get there and then they jump it forward again. And then I almost get there and they jump it forward again. Every one of us would have our own set of circumstances like that. Maybe you like clothes. You're like, well, once upon a time you could buy an incredible pair of shoes for 300 Rand. People would be shocked that you'd spend 300 Rand on a pair of shoes. Now my wife tells me they're 3,000 Rand. What the hell? 3,000 Rand? What are these, like cows from the Tibetan mountains? Like, I don't understand it. What happened that shoes are now 3,000 Rand? Whatever it is that's your thing, you know that you are now racing this price the whole time, and we are not getting there. And so, with this problem, no time and no money, we are solving it on the ground as individuals the only way we know how, and that is through debt. It's the only thing that we've got left for ourselves. And this is what we knew at the beginning when we were forming DuePoint. We said everyone's solution to the problem is debt. What people don't know is that debt is not a solution to the problem. Debt is the kind of thing that haunts you the rest of your life. You get in it and you never get out. It's like the mafia. Once you're in, you're not allowed out. Well, that's the same thing with debt. You never get out of debt. Never. There is a fraction of a % of individuals who'll dig themselves out of debt. No one else. will. And what happens to you is the debt becomes more expensive than the price you were chasing because of this thing called interest. You know it already. That interest just gets ahead of you and gets ahead of you and gets ahead, and you never get on top of it. And we needed to solve that problem. We needed to solve it. And we needed to solve it in the context of South Africans. You see, this is not an American company. It's not a South Asian company. It's not an Australian or a European company. It's a South African company. And it has been built and designed by South Africans that live in this context, the context that we live in. You see, we know what life is like, and we know what we're all going through. And so we were able to build a solution based on that. What is life like? You know what it's like. When you grew up, you were on your way. I talk to the youngsters these days. They're like Superman. There's nothing that can stop them. Going to university, I'm going to become a lawyer, a chartered accountant. I'm going straight to the top, okay? We're filled with that confidence when we start. We're filled with that confidence. So we leave our parents' house, and we're fortunate we've got tertiary education, and we go into the job market, and now we're earning. It might not be a lot of money, might not be a lot, but we're earning. But we're single, so our expenditure is low and our income is high, and we start journeying up. As the years pass, we start journeying up, and then we meet someone. All right, we meet somebody, and now it's two of you, and you're both earning. I remember this with my wife. We had two of us earning. Well, now that's big money. Now we can go do things. We get a car. We can buy a house. And then we made our first mistake. We got married. You thought I was going to say children. Wait, I'm getting there. The first mistake was we got married. Well, now we had to buy a house. Nobody warned me that when you buy the house, that's just the first payment. You know, there's a whole lot more payments they didn't tell me about. Lights, water, electricity, rates, maintenance, levies. Nobody told me about that. So all of a sudden, my financial position starts deteriorating. Now, I'm giving my example, but you would have the same sort of thing. You go up, and then suddenly life starts getting ahead of you, and your income is not keeping up. You might at that point start to turn the corner again. You get a promotion, the 10% increase comes, and you start turning the corner again, and then you make your second mistake. You decide to have children. That was my second mistake. That was the biggest mistake, actually. The house was like the drain in the bath, with the little twirly as it goes down the bath. That's what it was like with the house. The children was like a black hole vortex. And my money just went into this. And then I had another one. So then I had two vortexes. That's the truth. We know it. Why? Because kids get sick. You weren't getting sick. I wasn't getting sick. They get sick every week. They demand to be fed 3 times a day. They need to be clothed. And now they're going to school. And everybody knows what the price of schooling is. So I had just got there. And now I'm going down. And you know what the reality is? I'm getting old at the same time. I don't have time anymore ahead of me. Once upon a time, I was like, I got 60 years, I'll be fine. Now I'm like, Sherbet, man, I've got like 25 years, and I've already burnt 25 years. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like you start running out of time. Now you finally get your kids out the house, so you can start bending back up again. And now you're 60, 65, and nobody will hire you, and you lose your job, and you've got no income because no one will give it to you. What happens then? You don't have any pension. How many of you have been saving for a pension? You got 5-10 million in the bank? So that you're going to live off? No, what do you mean? But that's what you need. You read The Economist, they say you need at least 10 bar in the bank in order for you to be earning enough interest to survive your 30 years of retirement. How long do you think you're going to live for? At the moment, what do you think we're going to live for? I think I'm going to live to 100. I think on average we're going to live to 100. And with the modern medication, all of that jazz, I'm going to make it to 100. Excellent. When do you want to retire? 95? No, you're going to probably retire, 65, maybe 70? All right, now that means you've got 30 years to fund. 30 years to fund. You're going to need 10 million rand in the bank. This is a crisis that's coming towards us as South Africans. I just told you about how your whole life you didn't have money because you were making the marriage and children mistake. You're now making the third mistake, and that's deciding to retire. We have not gotten out in South Africa. There's no out. You see, this presentation this evening is not about selling pots and pans and mouth sprays and grass from the Yangtze River and all of that. That's not what we do. When we sat down to build DuePoint, we said, this is the problem. This is the problem. The problem is not that people don't have pots. The problem is not that people don't have mouth sprays. That's not the problem that South Africa has. The problem that South Africa has is that they don't have money, and they're not going to ever have money. That's the problem. Nothing in our economy is going to put you back in a position where you're going to have the money to live the life that you want to live. That was the problem. No time, no money. Now, we looked at ourselves and we said, okay, as Constantia DuePoint, what have we got? What have we got that we can use? Well, what were we doing at that time? We were doing everything that everybody else does. We've got all of our divisions and call centers and UMAs and brokers and all that jazz. And we were advertising. We had TV adverts up, billboard adverts up, SMS, all of these things to get customers to us. And we were spending hundreds of millions of rands. And where was that money going? To SABC, to DSTV, to Prime Media, not to any of you. Not to any of you. And we said, hang on a second. Is there not a way we can redirect this money that we are spending anyway? Isn't there no way we can, instead of giving it to these big conglomerates, is there not a way we can start putting it into the hands of South Africans? Where we, instead of advertising, we take that money and we start putting it into the hands of individuals at DuePoint. Is there a way we can create a system that will do that? And it is. That's exactly what we've done. It's why you have never heard of DuePoint before. Because what we did is we created a system that doesn't use advertisers. It uses people. And it's those people who then are able to create wealth because we're able to take the wealth we were spending and redirect it to you here at DuePoint. And so now understanding the mechanism, because that's the big question people always ask me. They say, Brendan, the maths doesn't work. No, the math does. What you don't realize is how much we were spending on advertising. We've now got that bucket available now to redirect towards you. With that in mind, you will start to understand now how we created what we call the DuePoint system. And that's why you are here this evening. The DuePoint system was designed to address the two problems. No time, no money. Not now, ever. Okay, it's not like I don't have money now. I don't have money ever. We need to change that statement. When the South African says, no, I don't have money now, you need to say, no, you mean you don't have money ever. Because that's the truth for all of us. It's the truth. So we started tackling those two things. The first thing that we did is we didn't, as I say, create a system that sells things. Because a system that sells things does not create money. All it does is it gives you temporary relief. When you sell the pot, you get the money. When you sell the mouth spray, you get the money. What we wanted was a system that would create wealth. Wealth is not money. Money is like in the moment. I got 10 rand now, I got 100 rand now, that's money. What we wanted was wealth. Wealth is money that's always there. That's what we created. A system that works on what we call recurring income. So instead of you getting money when you make the sale, ours is built on financial services and lifestyle products that have automatic debit order systems. So no matter what you're doing, those debit orders are running. Which means that every month, no matter where you are, whether you're stuck or not stuck, working too hard or not, the debit orders are running and the income flows in every month. It means now that you can start anticipating. You can start anticipating what your income will be. I know that I earn 10,000 Rand a month. So that means next month I've got 10,000 coming. I can now budget. I can now go to the bank and say I'd like a home loan because I know what my income is. You see what I'm saying? This is wealth that we decided and started creating through our DuePoint system. Not an income that comes when you sell something, but something that is there on a recurring basis. We then said we got to tackle the time problem. So we put into the system a very well-known tool of leverage, the ability for you to connect other people to us. By connecting other people to us, you're able to do more than you can do with your own two hands. With your own two hands, you've got 8 hours a day, and right now somebody else is sucking all that time up and paying you a minimal fee for it. Okay? We needed to be able to allow you to leverage the little bit of free time you have. And as you lever that time by building teams of individuals who build your income for you in our system, you buy your time back. You start buying it back. You will not, at some point, you will no longer need to work, and your time will suddenly be very free. This was the only solution we could see to it. See, people say to us often, Brendan, I don't have time to do DuePoint. Well, folks, you don't have time to do anything. That is why you're in the circumstance you're in. We now need to change our mindset to say, hang on, here is now something that can lever me in a direction where my time will come back. And I won't have to wait my last 20 years for retirement to have time. I'll be able to buy my time back earlier through the system of leverage and duplication that we have created here. Folks, this is not employment. You can see it's not employment. You see, we had, when we decided to do this, a couple of choices. Do we create employment? No problem. We'll launch a new call center. A new call center, maybe it's a raging success and we put 500 people in it. What's 500 people when there's 10 million unemployed South Africans? It's nothing. That was not going to help it. So this is not employment. This is not employment at all. This is something that we put in your hands. It's a tool. We give it to you. And you don't have to come to staff meetings on Monday morning and production meetings. No, it's yours. You use it as and when you want. Whether you want to use it 15 minutes a day or hours and hours a day, that's completely up to you. And you bend it to fit your personal circumstances. Your circumstances will never be on the DuePoint system. Never. Doesn't matter whether you're the CEO of Anglo-American. It doesn't matter. DuePoint will fit into your circumstances because it's your tool and you will flex it accordingly and it will buy back your time as well as creating wealth for you. Now, does it come at a cost? This was the next thing that we had to look at. Everywhere we looked, people were asking for money. These things that blow in from offshore and some of these things that pop up, these virtual things that pop up all the time, what's the first thing? To get started, you just have to buy this box. Pay this money, invest in these crypto thingies. There's always money being spent. And that is why you and most South Africans have the stigma that you do against anything that doesn't sound like full-time employment. You automatically got stigma. No, I'm not going to do that. I've heard about those. Because of all these things that the first thing they say is, just to get started, you must pay this amount over here. Folks, in the DuePoint system, there is zero cost for starting, zero things to be purchased, starter kits, boxes, manuals, none of those. Zero money to be spent on application forms, no cost of application forms, and no monthly admin, sales, marketing, whatever fee, none. There is no cost for being a wealth engineer at DuePoint. By simply being a product owner, you're automatically a wealth engineer at DuePoint at no cost, at no additional premium. We eliminated the financial risk for South Africans. We eliminated it. And people sometimes want to debate me on that. I'm happy to debate you. It was one of our purpose-built objectives in the DuePoint system was that we would not financially distress our wealth engineers. And so this evening, ladies and gentlemen, if you're concerned, this is one of those things where they're going to take your money. I can assure you that it's not. There are no credit card machines waiting for you outside. We haven't locked the doors. We're not going to say you need X amount to start. No. Tonight, everyone can start like this. No money at all leaving your hands or wallets. Very important to note. In addition, we put you in a position where you don't have to do any of those normal things that would be outlawed by the many regulations in the financial services space. So first of all, we contract you out of selling. So you don't have to do any selling. You're not selling pots, pans. There's none of that happening tonight. So you don't have to worry. No more selling, okay? You are not intermediaries of ours. You're not brokers. You're not agents. You don't market for us. You don't advertise for us. You don't do any of these things. Your task is just to connect individuals to us. That's all we leave you with. Just connect individuals. I'm going to show you how you do it in a minute. And that means that anybody in South Africa can be a wealth engineer. Anybody. Doesn't matter what your education is. Doesn't matter what your experience is. Maybe you've never done something like this before. Doesn't matter. Everyone can become a wealth engineer at DuePoint. And it means that everybody can start to solve those two problems. Start to build an asset, because an asset solves those two problems. An asset is something that creates not money, wealth. Remember what the difference is? Wealth is there all the time. Money comes and goes. An asset creates recurring income. That means it's there all the time. That's what we start creating with our channels. Why do we call it an asset? Because at DuePoint you can sell it. You can sell it. You can put a price on it, a value on it, and you can sell it. And in addition, one day when you pass away, it will transfer to your children. You see, as a 7-decade-old insurance company, we don't take a right now view. We take a generational view. 7 decades. There's generations in it. What will the next 7 decades look like? Well, we wanted something that will go from one generation to the next, because that is part of our solution. In South Africa, are any of you guys going to be inheriting houses, cars, and money when your parents die? No. You'll be inheriting debt for sure. You're going to pay for food your parents ate and clothes they wore. That's what we do. That's what we do. 99.5% of South Africans are inheriting debt from their parents. We're going to change that. Here, this asset that creates income every month, you will hand over to your children when you pass away. And they will earn the income you created during your lifetime. They will be able to take that asset and grow it even further if they so wish. And one day they'll hand it over to your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. This is what we build here. We don't sell pots and pans. I had a lady here the other night. She said, if it's premiums, I'm not interested. And I went, really? You want to sell pots and pans the rest of your life? Yes, that's what I'm doing. Oh, okay. All right, I can't help you then. No. You see, because she wants money, not wealth. That's what she wanted. She wanted money, not wealth. And we create wealth here at DuePoint. All right. We do it in a way that will not do what everyone is always worried about, step on your ego. When we sat down and we designed the system, the first thing we said is there's no ways we're going to become another one of those companies where everybody goes, oh my word, is it one of those? No, thank you. We said, no, we're not going. What we're going to design instead is we're going to create a private bank type business where people walk in the building and go, this is the next level. This is the next level. This is where I want to be. This is where I'm proud to bring my friends, my peers, and my boss. That's what we were going to create at DuePoint. And so we eliminated all the things that were part of the stigmas people had. First of all, selling was a big one. I've told you already. No selling at DuePoint. You contracted out of it. You're never going to have to sell a thing again. So even if you say to your friend, listen, I don't have the personality for this business, nonsense. Nonsense. You talk to your mother, you can do this business. You talk to your brother, you can do this business. There's no selling. Secondly, there's no presenting. There's no presenting. Without technology, Rob and I are the only two people that present ever. And we're in your pockets 24 hours a day anywhere in the country. I'm going to show you in a minute. No presenting. So you don't have to, no, I don't have the skills, I don't want to do this, I'm a shy person, nonsense. None of that is a concern in the DuePoint system. And thirdly, people said, I don't want to carry around stock. Why do they not want to carry around stock? Because it's often inferior to what you can just get in the shops anyway. I mean, a lot of these things, and I dare you to do it. Go peel the label off. You know what you'll find underneath? Another label. Go. And you'll find on the other label that the item in your hand expired 3 months ago. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Go and do it. And now you've got to go to your friends and say, no, this is the stuff. You need this stuff. It's going to take 10 years off of your life. You will look 10 years younger. This stuff here. Yes, I know it expired last year, but this is the stuff that you need to buy. That's what. And people have gone, I don't want to be involved in that anymore. I don't. You're going to talk to them. Vast majority of people say, I don't want to be involved in that anymore. Fantastic. It is not in any way part of what we do at DuePoint. Not at all. That's not. So if you think that's what we're doing here, cross it out in your minds. It is not what we do at DuePoint. We removed all the things that people were embarrassed with, and we left you with the one task, one thing. We said, all we want you to do is go out and connect people to us. How do you connect people to us? All right. Well, there's just 4 ways of connecting people to us. The first way is you can pick up one of our USB sticks. If you struggle with data, lots of South Africans struggle with data, go buy our USB sticks. It's a once-off payment of 170 Rand, and you've got our presentations on the stick. Forever. They don't like wear out. They're not like CDs that go like funny in the sun and all that. You take the stick, plug it in a TV, plug it in a computer, and there we are doing the presentation. It means you can be anywhere in the country, any time of the day. You plug it in, we do the presentation. The second way is you can bring people here. We have this office. We've built it specifically for you. Monday through Saturday we present. Monday through Saturday. Every day of the week, night times, lunch times, mornings, we're presenting out of this room. Bring your guests and acquaintances to this room, and we'll do the presentation for you. All right? And this place is like McDonald's. I can assure you of that. You know, at McDonald's, you drive through, you order your burger. Every day that you order that burger, it is exactly as it was the day before. And it is good. All right? You come here, you know always what you're going to get. You know always. It's not like your friend or like something that your friend has to do the presentation and you're always like, oh man, I really don't want him to do it. He's no good. Here you always know the quality of what you're going to get. Then the third way of connecting people to DuePoint is through our YouTube channel. If you've got the data, you go to YouTube. You search DuePoint channel. You'll find every presentation we've ever done there. Go pick your favorite ones. You might find that mine are much better than Rob's. I don't know. That might just be your personal preference. You pick them and you go. In fact, on Saturday morning, Rob took great pleasure. A lady said to him, Rob, when do you present? I can't see it on the events. And Rob says, well, we don't put it up on the event schedule. She said, I don't like it when Brendan presents. He speaks too fast. That's why I've been going as slowly as possible this evening. So Rob took great pleasure in that. So folks, you pick your favorite ones. And 24 hours a day, anywhere in the country. Do not believe that because our office is here, you cannot do this business anywhere outside of Gauteng. That's nonsense. This is a nationwide business. Anywhere, anytime, if you can click play, you are connected to us. You can be Christmas Day, Easter Day, your birthday, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm there waiting behind the camera, full makeup, fresh, ready to do the presentation for you. That's what we do here. Never. I've had one or two people, it's only been one or two, who said, Brendan, we can't do this business because you don't have an office in Timbuktu. Folks, nonsense. You are one click away from having live content on a daily basis delivered to you by DuePoint. We believe we're one of the only companies in the country that produces live content for its people on a daily basis, 6 days a week. You get that. So it's not like it suddenly becomes irrelevant because it was from 10 years ago. You'll find I'm saying all the controversial and wrong things every day. I'm keeping up with the headlines. And then the fourth way of connecting people to DuePoint is through our live broadcasts. Every single day, every single presentation, we broadcast across the nation. Again, if you've got a screen and an internet connection, whether you're stuck at work, remember, I don't have time. Yes, you're stuck at work, no problem. At work, gather your acquaintances around, click play. You are in the room with us, as are thousands of individuals this evening with us from around the country. You click play and you are in the room with us 6 days a week. This business connects you like no other business we know of in South Africa. Now, as you do that, some of the individuals you're going to connect to us. Because remember, you don't have to convince them, you don't have to say, you just put them in front of the screen. As you connect them and we do the work, some people, not all of them, some of them, are going to catch the vision of what we're trying to do here. And they're going to become what we call wealth engineers, as you may this evening. And when you do, we allocate those individuals to you, and your channel is born. These folk go out, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to connect people to us. Some of them are going to become wealth engineers, and again, we're going to allocate them to you. And this process repeats itself over and over and over again across time. The more time, the more connections. And you penetrate the South African market for us like we would have if we were running adverts. You can picture this as a giant carte blanche advert at 8:30. Or at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. We run the ad and woof, the connections to DuePoint take place. Now we've used you and you've created these connections for us. We as DuePoint are now able to come along as we would the TV ad on carte blanche. Everybody calls in. We've got a whole lot of leads Monday morning. We're calling them back. With us now, exactly the same thing happens. DuePoint comes along and we facilitate the purchase of products throughout this channel that you have created for us, and your income is now born. You haven't had to sell a single pot, and your income is now born. Now, what's very important to note, one of the common stigmas, one of the common knee-jerk reactions to hearing about anything that is not full-time employment is that this is a pyramid scheme. Folks, this is not a pyramid scheme. It is not a Ponzi scheme. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is none of these things. We are a licensed and listed and regulated insurance company. We had to get approval for this. I sat in a room, Tim was there with me. We had about 20 heads of department at the FSCA, all grilling us for 3 hours on the DuePoint system. You kind of think they would have shut us down by now, given the number of years we've been running DuePoint. Folks, this is legit. This is genuine. Oh, but that's a problem. You see, because genuine comes with a whole lot of problems. Like your career. Your career is genuine. You know what the number one problem with your career is? It's moving too slowly. Is it not? You're not CEO yet. Hey. When you were 18, you were like, I'm going to 10 years. My brother used to say, I laugh at him. My brother used to say to me, I'm going to be rich by the time I'm 30. He turns 40 next year. Oh, I have lots of fun with him with that. 30, but you missed it by 10 years. Okay, so we realize, and our mid-30s, that our career is not going quite the way we thought. But it's because it's genuine. You know you're going to get your money at the end of each month. You know that you're not being scammed. No. It's exactly the same with the DuePoint system. You see, there is a price to pay for success at DuePoint. It's not financial. We built that out of the system. The price you're going to pay is time. It's your time. In the beginning, you've got to pump time into this tool to create wealth. Later on, it buys your time back. But in the beginning, you've got to put time in. This thing that you create, this channel, this penetration of the market that you create is like a little baby. It is. In the beginning, you've got a 1-month-old baby. You've been here for a month. Do you know what happens when you leave your 1-month-old baby? It dies. Your 2-month-old baby, it dies. Your 3-month-old baby. How many months do we have to get before the kid survives by itself? 5 years. 5 years. You know our executive mayor, Herman Mashaba, he had to look after himself from age 5. You go watch his story. I actually did a video on his life. You can find it on YouTube. Goes from age 5, he was left at home alone. Had to look after himself. Okay? You guys have all got common stories to this. I know this. It's not unique to him. This is the 5. So you've got to put 5 years in with us here at DuePoint. Because if you stop before then, your baby dies. But once it's 5 years old, once you've put that time and effort in, the thing is now alive. And for the rest of your life, you've now got a living thing that grows your wealth with us. Those of you who are happy to put time and energy and thought and persistency into the growth of your channels allows us to start the heart of this system. All right. The first mechanism that we start is, of course, creating the wealth that we can share with you. And that happens through the facilitation of the purchase of our products. The first product that we have is our Access Wealth Plan. Our Access Wealth Plan costs 324 Rand a month, and for 324 Rand a month, you get 2 independent products. The first one is your very own tax-free investment account. It's got no notice periods on it, no restrictions on it, which means the money is immediately available to you. It's not an endowment. You don't wait 5 years. Your money is your money. We take 100 Rand of your 324, only 100 Rand, and we put it into the investment account every month, and it's yours. It's yours. You can pull it out anytime. Now, that means the actual cost of this product is only 224 Rand. And for that, you get the second product, 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. This means if you pass away from an accident, your beneficiaries will get 120,000 Rand and the value of your investment. You see, we are creating wealth on all fronts here. Not only do we create the income, which we're going to talk about in a minute, but we create value in the saving and investment that we have created here at DuePoint. The second product that we have is our Wealth Card product. It's 249 Rand a month, and for that you get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. No waiting periods, no maximum ages on it, no medical declarations or examinations. Every single person that you bring to DuePoint, no matter their age, no matter their circumstances, no matter their risk profile, can get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover here for 249 Rand a month. Do you see how we're robbing you? If this is a scheme, it's the worst scheme in the country. Because I am never going to get rich off of 249 Rand a month. There's no 30,000 Rand entrance fee here. Our third product is our Wealth Points Buyers Club. It's 299 Rand a month, and for that, you get access to all of our suppliers. We're a 7-decade-old insurance company. We got suppliers that give us discounts, prices, vouchers, account managers, services that you couldn't get as an individual. And for 299 Rand a month, you get to use all of them. You don't have to go to the gym and get your heart rate up to a certain level for 30 minutes, otherwise you don't get your discounts, etc., etc. You pay the $299 and you get full access to all of them, and you, if you use this product properly, can completely revolutionize your monthly spend. There's 3 videos on our YouTube channel that you can watch about how you can use this product to its maximum value. Go and watch them. Those 3 products create the wealth that allow us then to start rewarding you, to start building that income we've been talking about. We do this in 2 ways. The first way is through our returns program. Our returns program pays you 27 Rand 50 for every product payment made in your channel, multiplied by a factor of where in your channel the payment is made. So for instance, you go out, you connect a couple of people to us, and they take a product, some of them, and they make their product payments. You get 27 Rand 50 multiplied by 200%. That's 55 Rand. 55 Rand every month for every product, not for people. Not for people. Again, today our client service lady had a phone call. No, I was told by someone that if I just bring people, you pay. No, folks, we've got to make the money first. Remember, that's what the products are for. We make the money, then we can distribute. Right, excellent. 55 Rand. These folk go out, they connect a few more individuals to DuePoint. And again, they make their product payments, and you get 27 Rand 50 multiplied by 200%, 55 Rand. Now, this is where this lady that I was talking to the other night had her difficulty. No, when I sell the pot, I get 500 Rand now. And I go, that's interesting. Do you get 500 Rand next month for the pot you sold last month? No. Here you get 55 Rand, not once, every month. And our products don't have a maturity date. They go to your last breath. This is an income we hope will be your entire life as you build it. And if you look here, you've been here for 5 minutes. You've already built a channel that's worth 1,000 Rand a month. 12,000 Rand a year. A handful of people. Remember, you still all got your jobs. This is not new employment. You keep your employment. You add this to your life, and you've now added 1,000 Rand a month. Now you want more. You put more time and more effort into the construction of your channel, and you will continue to earn, but on a diminishing basis, down to the 8th point. But from the 8th point on, there's no limit to how much you can earn. You can build a channel of any size. Any size. If you keep going, you can build a channel of 50 points, 100 points. That's up to you. And you can earn on all the products, on all those points at 4% of 27 Rand 50, as long as you qualify to earn. How do you qualify to earn? 6-minute training video on our YouTube channel. Short, easy, simplest system in the country on how you can earn with unlimited potential. Unlocked, not only for you, but for the generations to come. You build a 25-point channel, you hand it over to your children, they can build it to 50 points. And so on. Unlimited potential to build your channel. What does it translate into? What does that actually mean on the ground? How much are you going to earn? This is a very interesting question. When someone knows the answer, please come and tell me. I don't know. All of you are going to build at a different rate. Sadly, many of you are going to do nothing. You're going to tell me this evening it's all nonsense, is not for you. Which is interesting, because I thought money was for everyone. But apparently not. That's okay. It leaves all the money then for the 20% who then get stuck in. We're going to have to take a vote. 20% of you are going to make money out of the system. You are going to make money out of the system. Before you leave, take a quick vote in your row who the 20% is. There's about 10 in each row. So 2 of you. Then, so just take a quick vote, all right, on that. What we did, though, to try and answer this question, because we knew, on the 1st of August 2015, we knew we were going to have to answer this question. We sat down and we pulled 2 decades of data. You see, we've been around a while. We can get the data. And we pulled the data and we said, what is the average person able to do when they've got limited time? Not what the superstars can do, what's the average person? And we worked out a growth formula called 3+2, because you've obviously got to grow your channel. And the 3+2 formula says in your first month with us, you're only able to put 3 people into your channel. You only had that much time. It took you an entire month to find 3 people. Okay, great. We felt that that was nice and conservative. We said it was good. Then we said every month thereafter, you put just 2 people in. That's all the time you have. You don't have more time than to put 2 people in every single month. Now you work with your guys, you try and get them to do the same thing. We put in our lapses and cancellation rates, people not doing 3+2, etc., into a very complicated mathematical calculation to try and say, what do we think you're going to earn off of the DuePoint system? Well, if you're able to do that, 3 in the first month, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, for the first 6 months, we think you can reasonably expect to be at about 2,500 Rand a month. That's 30,000 Rand a year. You see how different we are from Facebook? You see, Facebook would have had you on 1 million Rand by there. No, would have. I've seen them on a daily basis. You got to look them up. 1 million Rand in 90 days, crypto, this and that. We're saying no. We're creating lifetime wealth. Lifetime wealth comes slowly. And at 6 months, you're earning 30,000 Rand a year with us. It's already started to change things for you. Nothing like getting a bonus 2,500 Rand in the middle of your month every month. Okay? You know that salty crack story. End of the month salty crack? They were lying. End of the month salty crack is like week 2. The money, you know what it's like. You pay and your money just goes, gone. It's that vortex named, you can name it your children's names. We, in the middle of the month, you get an extra 2,500 Rand. Right. But now maybe you want to do more than 6 months with us. 6 months is not a long time. You've only put 3 people in and 2 every month. Maybe you want to keep going. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus, to the end of the year. 12 months from now, this time, middle of May next year. Middle of May next year. We think you can reasonably expect to be on about 9,000 to 10,000 rand a month. 9,000 to 10,000 rand a month in 1 year with us. That's 120,000 rand a year that you have now added to your household income. It's not once off, it's every month. That 9 grand is there every month. Sure, we all want the 100,000 rand a month they promise us on the internet. But what do we actually need? Tell me how different your life would be with an extra 10 grand a month. How different would your life be? That's 1 year from now. Can you survive 1 year? Most people drop out there. I wanted to make this a red 3, but everybody said, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. 90 days. That's my personal rule. I call it the 90-day rule. 90 days in, people go, it's too hard. It's too hard. Why is it too hard? Because people are very disappointing creatures, you see. You're going to leave here tonight, you're going to be excited. Rightly so. This is a very exciting opportunity. You're going to go out, you're going to grab a whole bunch of people, they're going to come in here and laugh at you and walk off, and then you're going to go, no, I can't do this. Tonight you're going to go, I am in it. I'm going to be here for the next 20 years. Tomorrow morning you'll go, forget it. Well, in fact, one of my big builders said he had introduced a lady. She was super excited, been to the presentation, falling over herself to get out the door and go and talk. She said, Brenda, I spoke to 23 people. Only 4 people said, yes, this business doesn't work. I quit. I was like 20% to 20. Yeah, it's about 4. Looks like the maths works perfectly. Okay. Folks, this is a time business. It's a time business. You've got to put the time in. If you've put the time in, and we've built into the fact that only 4 out of 23 are going to say yes. We've built that into this maths. If you do that for a year, 9,000 to 10,000 rand. You can do it for 2 years. It becomes 27,000 to 30,000 rand. That's 2020, mid-May 2020. You can reasonably expect, if you've worked consistently for 24 months, to be on 27,000 rand a month. I'll bet that's more than most of you earn in this room tonight. If I go to 3 years, it becomes 45,000 rand. 3 years, 2 people a month. If you can get to 4 years, it becomes 60,000 rand a month. And if you can do half a decade with us, it's 80 to 100,000 rand a month. It's $1 million rand. We can get you to $1 million rand. We will get you to $1 million rand. We will. But it's going to take time. You see, there was 5 clicks for me. But it's not 5 clicks. It's 5 years. 5 years. And that kills the average South African. The average South African can't handle it. You see, we've lived in a state of survival for so long that unless I'm rich now, and that's what they market to you on Facebook, they know this is what you want, unless I'm rich now, I won't do it. And we said, no. We're going to build lifetime wealth. We need 5 years. You need that kid to be able to look after itself. 5 years with us, and you'll be on 80 to 100,000 rand, we think, quite reasonably. All right. Now, does this actually work? So I'm going to do something different for you guys tonight. Generally, what we do is we show you people using this tool. Because we want to show you it's real. It's not just maths, it's real. And we say, we want to show you people using this tool. That's not what I'm going to do tonight. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you the matrix behind the people. You guys have seen the matrix? Do you remember the red pill and the blue pill? Do you remember they take the blue? And now suddenly you can see the matrix, all the lines behind. I'm going to show you the matrix behind what happens with people. I'm going to give you 3 examples tonight of real people. Real people, but not them, what's happening behind them at Dewpoint. All right. Here's our first individuals. Okay. They started with us, and they grew, and about 18 months ago, so you've got to go back 18 months now, all right? They had really just got started with us, okay? They had put 16 people in, all right? And over a period of a couple of months, they'd grown a channel that had about 250 people in it. This is an exact diagram of their channel. Do you see how it looks like this? Do you see it looks just like a pyramid, doesn't it? Hey? This is definitely one of those, hey? Do you see that? Look at that. It looks exactly like one of those. This is an exact diagram of what their channel looked like 18 months ago. Okay. 16 people. In a system where they are not responsible solely for the growth, they're able to create a team. They have created a team. That team is 250 people big. Today, that's what that channel looks like. There is 3,491 people, and this individual to date has 30 active first pointers. So over a period of 18 months, they've had to put 3,000 people in. No. What have they had to do? 16 to 30 over 18 months. And that has built a channel that's gone from 250 to 3,500 people. That's them there. Do you see them? That's them right there. And this is what they have created. When people tell you this business doesn't work, I want you to hold your sides and laugh until you cry. Because you have just seen it in action. I don't have 3 successful stories at DuePoint. I have thousands. I picked 3 for you. Okay? That's the person that started all of this. Okay, that's example number 1. Number 2, 18 months ago. Individual number 2 came in. They worked for a little bit longer. They'd been here for a little bit longer than us. They had got 11 active first pointers in their channel that had created a team of 700 people. That was their exact diagram of their channel at that time. And there they are over there. As of today, there are 3,500 people in their channel, and they have 18 active people. So what have they had to do? They've had to go out and find 3,500 people. No. They've had to find 7 more active people. That's what their job was, to connect 7 active people to DuePoint. And their channel now looks like this across the country of South Africa. Then our last example for you tonight. Here was a channel that started 18 months ago. It was on 16 people with 420 people in their channel. That's what they'd built. There was the individual. Okay? Put your seatbelts on, because this is what they look like today. 7,326 people with 16 active people in their first point. How many people have they had to go out and find in the last 18 months? 0. 16 people with a team of 420 have built a channel with 7,500 people in it. There they are. You can barely, they're like, that we've had to zoom in on them to show you where they are in this channel. That's 3 examples. This is not the biggest channels. These are not. In fact, if you think, some people might think this is Patrick and Pumi's channel. It's not. It's not this. It's not at all. It's not. In fact, it's 3 people you've never seen on the stage. It's 3 people you've never seen on the stage that we picked for this tonight. So, folks, what we hope to demonstrate to you is that this is not a pots and pans and mouth spray and cryptocurrency business. This is a business where we are going to create proper economic solution for South Africans. By South Africans, for South Africans. And we here at DuePoint show you everything. We will open this business up for you to look in, even to the extent that we'll show you what's happening behind the individuals that are working here. This is a very powerful business that has already started changing the lives of thousands of individuals. This is not our first year, guys. This is not our first year. Thousands of individuals. You can go to our YouTube channel, watch the testimonies of the sample we've put on the stage. Go and watch how they have changed their lives almost completely with the DuePoint tool here today. All right, final thing. As we sat there and we looked at this, we said people are not going to know how to do this business. They're not. Some will think they do know how to do this business because they will have sold pots and pans before. They will think they know how to do it. But we know that they're not. And other people will say, I don't know how to do this business and therefore I won't do it. And we said, no, we had to solve that problem. And so we created what we call our XP Rewards program. It is the second way that we reward you and create wealth for you at DuePoint. But at the same time, it teaches you how to do this business from beginner to expert. We take you through a series of properly programmed and thought out steps that create activity in you and your channels and grow what we call XP for you, experience points. They're not worth rands and cents. They're just a measure. We measure how you are growing and your experience here at DuePoint. As you accumulate this experience, naturally your channel grows. And where you meet the 2 criteria of experience and channel size at DuePoint, we rank you up in this training program. And as we rank you up for doing the work, for having the thick skin, for taking the laughter and finding the active, we reward you. In the beginning, it's a little bit of cash. You can get in the first few weeks with us if you want. It's up to you. Then as you start getting more serious, your channel starts getting bigger, well, so does the cash start getting a lot more serious. Remember, this is in addition to the returns. Don't confuse these two. Remember the 27 Rand 50? That's the real money. This is the cherries on the cake that we give you as you progress through the process of building your channel with us. At rank 5, we start to equip you with tools. Rank 5, it's an imported lightning memory stick from the US. It comes jam-packed with all sorts of things that you need to build this business. Presentations, testimonies, trainings, downloads, everything you need so you don't need data anymore to connect individuals to us. Then, at rank 7, we give you a custom-made set of imported business cards for you worth 12,500 rand. These are not made in South Africa. These are imported materials, gold gilded. Gold gilded, not gold printed. It's not the Cokie in my drawer. I didn't sit there like before I give it to you. Gold gilded business cards. If you want to see what a 12,500 rand set of business cards looks like, go and find somebody in the audience who's got a set with you. There's a bunch of them here tonight. Or go and look in our cabinet and see what it's like. And we give that to you at rank 7. The connection potential that those cards have is off the scale. You talk to Donnie, for instance. Donnie says stands in checkers, queues, just hands the cards out. Doesn't say anything to anybody. Next day they all sign up just because of the quality of the card. At rank 9, as long as you maintain your channel size with us, every year that you do, we take you and your family, not just you and your family, away on a 1-week trip, 5-star, business class, all expenses paid. Now this is often where we lose people. We lose people for 2 reasons at this point. Some go, no, now it's become farcical. It's starting to sound like cryptocurrency. Folks, it's not farcical. It's real. It's real. We do this. We go every year. We don't have to use stock footage in our videos. We've got real people to do it. We go every year. And it is there for everyone. Secondly, we have people who say, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to get there. I see it often on the faces of the people in the audience. They go, that is awesome, but I could never do that. I could never do that. Why? Because that's what we've been taught. We've had 100 years of oppression, suppression, all sorts in our country. Failed politics, failed economics. We've had it all in our country. And what has all of that taught us? It's taught us that we're not worthy. It's taught us that we're not capable. And that these sorts of things are not for us. That's what it's taught us. All of that is nonsense. It's all absolute nonsense. At DuePoint, everybody is capable of rank 9 and beyond. There are 28 ranks in our channel currently. This is only 9. This is only 9. This is the 9th one. We have got 2/3 more to go after this. Everyone is capable of achieving this. It's not a competition. It's not the first 5 people. It's everybody who goes rank 9. And because we go every year, you will go rank 9 if you persevere. You miss this year, you keep going. You don't reset to naught in January. You just keep building. What you built last year, you build next year. Build on next year. And you build on and you build on. You will go rank 9 if you persevere. And for those of you who persevere, for those of you who change the mindset and say, I can live a life where I can have these things, your holidays, your Decembers will start looking like this.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun, where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
It's the 20% shouting there. All right. Like I said, this is not a competition. You will work for it. What will be the price? Your time. That's what your price is at DuePoint. How long will it take you? Well, you can decide. We're going this December. You can come with us if you want. So far, the standing record is 5 months to rank 9. Okay. I'm happy to see records tumble. Love it. Okay. But average is about 19 months. Okay. So if you're here tonight going, I'm joining DuePoint for the holiday, I'm going to disappoint you this year. But if you go, hang on, I'm here for the wealth, and ultimately, a year and a half from now, I could be on that boat at those hotels with these people, then you've made the right decision as you join DuePoint this evening. At rank 11, we give you another useful tool. It's your own car. It's not branded. It's not rented to you. You don't finance it from us, and we don't give it to you and take it away when your performance drops off. No, it's your car at rank 11, and we hope you'll use it to continue to build your financial freedom with us here. Like I said, there's 28 ranks. It's just, you're not even halfway at rank 11 in our program. These are all the things that we put together to solve the two problems that we have at DuePoint, or that we have in South Africa. No money and no time. We wanted to bring these back through the system that we created. And we put a returns program that creates wealth and a rewards program that changes lifestyle together with us here today. Folks, as part of that program, we run what are called monthly wealth quests. Wealth quests are designed to help you get going every month. The requirements and criteria are different every month. And everybody who completes the criteria is rewarded. Some months it's tools like iPads and iPhones and smart TVs. Other months it's cash, because that's what you need to build your channels. This month is a good one. It's a big one. 10,000 Rand cash for everyone who can complete this wealth quest this month. What do you got to do? You got to rank up. Now, the terms and conditions around that are relatively simple, but I'm not going to go into them here. When you've downloaded our app later, click on the rewards button, read the terms and conditions, and understand what you need to do to rank up. And this month, how you can get that 10,000 Rand. There's still plenty of time left in this month. It is available to everybody. You just have to be determined to get it. That will be different on the 1st of June. Every month, the wealth quests change. Right now, it's our last month on our 90-day wealth quest for our rank 4s and above. If you're aspiring to be rank 4 or are rank 4, you're all welcome to go for this challenge. By the end of this month, if you can put 5 rank 2s into your channel, there's 25,000 Rand in it for you. That means this month alone, there's 35,000 Rand on the table. 35,000 Rand, let alone the returns and the rewards program. There's 35,000 on the table for you this month. Folks, it's decision time. Are you going to continue to label DuePoint with whatever stigma you had when you entered the room? Or are you going to start saying, hang on, I need to have a solution for my own life? We don't have other options. You know you don't. You'd be doing them if you did have them. We know in South Africa we don't. If you want to become a wealth engineer this evening, it doesn't cost you any money. You simply go to our website. You go to www.dewpoint.net, click the apply button, fill out the form. You're a wealth engineer tonight. And you can start building your channel tonight with DuePoint. If you're serious, get the tools. Tools make you money, not me. Get the USB stick if you don't have data. If data is an issue, tonight, get the USB stick. It's got the presentations on it. If your phone dies constantly, get the battery. We've got a backup battery, plugs into all phones, and it means that when people are filling out the application forms on your phone, your battery doesn't die. Get the business card. 645 Rand for 500. It's a 5,000 Rand set. But because we've got leverage, I can get it to you for 645 Rand, and it's custom made for you. All the tools are there. iPad covers, caps, pins, everything you need is there. Find the prices on the counter, purchase it, or order it at info@dewpoint.net. Guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free and it connects you to us. Download our free app to your phone and to your tablet. It's the only way you can connect to us. The app, if you don't have a smartphone, you've got to go and get a smartphone. Get the app on your phone and you are connected to us. Your training's there. Your product documents there. Adding wealth engineers to your channel is there. Everything you need. So make sure before you leave this evening you get the app on your phone. And then guys, we're launching for our existing wealth engineers, and going forward, we're launching Saturday Teamworks meetings. What is a Teamworks meeting? A Teamworks meeting is a private one-on-one training session with me or Rob and your channel. You can bring your team together and we will do a private training session with you. If anybody's been to a Teamworks meeting knows it's totally worth it. Go and talk to them. Saturdays, every Saturday where we can, go to our events and see the schedule. You'll see where we've plugged them all in. From 11:30 until 12:15, live broadcast across the country. So no matter where you are in the country, gather your guys up after the intro presentation on a Saturday morning at 11:30. Bring them into the room, bring them into this auditorium, whether they're brand new or old. Put them in and let's have Teamworks meetings every Saturday. The first one is this Saturday at 11:30 with Rob. So get your teams and get your guests to those. Well, when I say get your guests, they must be wealth engineers before they come in. Okay, for a private one-on-one training session with us every Saturday going forward where we can. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that I hope that what I've done this evening is I've demonstrated to you how we got to the conclusions we did before we created DuePoint and why we created DuePoint. I also hope I've demonstrated to you just how serious we were in creating DuePoint. We've put tens of millions of rands into this business because we want to do more than what we have seen done before. And we want you involved with us. If you've got questions and concerns, that's fine. That's fine. Come and ask us. Ask the people who brought you, come and ask us. Do not walk out of here thinking you know the answer, because I promise you don't. We spent a lot of time putting this system together. Come and ask us the questions. But instead, walk out of here this evening with this tool in your hand. No money will have passed from your wallet tonight. Just walk out with the tool, and tomorrow start doing something different to create lifetime wealth for yourself and possibly even your family in the future. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see you all outside, and thanks for all of you who've tuned in live tonight.